charitable institutions. Now, let's have a look in the light of this. Why are the Arab countries so backward? We all know the corruption and the repression. A lot of you asked me, why did we, especially in Egypt, have so many police and military guards? Two reasons. Number one, tourism is the number one source of income and employment, and obviously the Egyptian government is terribly concerned that any terror incident will destroy hundreds of millions of dollars from tourists. Right? Tourists are a very nervous bunch. Soon as there is a plague, they leave the area. As soon as there are terrorist incidents, they stop visiting the country. So it's vital for the Egyptian government to protect tourism. But that's only half the story. The other half is that Egypt is run by a military police junta. They're the trappings of democracy, but basically it's the police and the military who run the country. Now, very dangerous if you have a large military and a large police force with not enough to do. Then they can sit back, plot coups and so on. Now, they've already wiped out the Islamic fundamentalists, they've wiped out the communists, they've wiped out all their enemies. So you've got to do make work. And make work is what you saw. Passports, police, customs, it keeps them off the streets. So you can see this is where we often make mistakes. An American from Deloitte Touche would come in and say, let's organize things so that we use manpower properly. The first recommendation they would make is cut the size of the police and the army by 40% and put the money in education. That's good economics. You don't need all those. You saw so many surplus people looking at passports and so on. The world is a dangerous place, but the safest place on earth is in a cruise ship. You never have revolutions led by the over 70s. Never. So I would say truly, the cruise ship passengers, especially, maybe on the budget ships, some bad people get in. But on Regent, if you can afford to be on Regent, you're not a revolutionary. You're not going to try and bring the house down. So, what would happen though, if they followed the advice and they retired 40% of the police and the army? A year later there would be a coup. And they'd say, thanks, Deloitte Touche, you've just brought the government down. So, we have corruption and repression, high unemployment, technological lag, and of course gender issues. The critical question is, are the Arab countries backward because of bad leadership or bad ideas? And by bad ideas, I include culture. And obviously, we can discuss and debate, but I will have a look at some of these.